Some people use one monitor, some people use two monitors, and others just go way beyond that. But how many monitors do you actually need? By the end of this video, there are 2 questions I ask which help to decide how many monitors you actually need. Most people skip this part, and that's why they end up upgrading when they actually don't need to. Because more screens definitely don't automatically mean better performance. I think a big reason that people actually want to upgrade to 2 monitors in the first place is because in 2026, the past few years especially, it just feels like the standard now. Like you see it online, friends have it, every setup you see, it feels like they always have at least 2 monitors, and it's honestly making it feel like you almost need 2 monitors when you first get your setup. Like this is just the standardized way to use any PC. And it kind of creates a trap where it feels like if you're not having a dual monitor setup, at least you're missing out on an experience which you should be having. And to be totally honest, it's really easy to see why people actually want to buy a new monitor. Like it's relatively cheap, it's super easy to set up, and if you think about it, you can literally get a whole OLED monitor for less than the price of DDR5 RAM. Like that's an insane deal. And let me say, I have definitely fallen into that trap before. This is a personal story for me. I used to run 2 monitors about 5 years ago on a desk that was just way too small to actually support the 2 monitors. And I mean, one of the monitors was literally hanging off the edge. Like the desk did not fit having both of these at the same time. It looked really bad and it felt super cramped, and ergonomically to me it really made no sense. So that leads me to the question of why I even did it in the first place. And I just kept it anyway because I thought that I genuinely needed 2 monitors. This is something that I don't see enough people talking about, is that space really matters. Having more monitors only really works if you actually have sufficient space for it, and I feel like a lot of people don't actually have enough space. Just by adding another screen, it doesn't automatically upgrade your setup magically. It can actually make it worse. There's just more clutter, more neck movement, and can just reduce comfort overall. So the question isn't just how many monitors you actually need, it's whether your current setup can even support adding more. First up, I'm just going to talk about just having one monitor, its benefits, its drawbacks, and who I think this is really for. The truth is, one monitor is genuinely enough for most people, especially if you're usually just doing one task at once and your brain is solely focused on one piece of work. Now that could be gaming, working, coding, editing, anything like that. If your brain is just focused on one piece of work, it might even be better just having one monitor. You're usually only working on just one thing at a time, and in those cases, I genuinely think that one monitor is just more beneficial. 2 can actually add a distracting element and kind of just take away from being focused on one piece of work. I've definitely had this when I'm trying to get something done. Having a second monitor is just so easy to pull something up, watch a video, and it can really just take away from the experience of actually doing your work and getting stuff done. It can kind of create a massive distraction. So if you're mainly just doing one thing at a time, it's more than enough just having one monitor. I believe it's just simpler, cleaner, and more comfortable to use. If you really need a second screen, you can just like prop up your phone, a laptop or something. It's a lot less effort to set up, and it means that if you don't need the second monitor, you can just remove it. You don't have it permanently at your desk. But then there definitely is a use case for 2 monitors, and that's where I'm going to go on to next. What's the benefits of 2 monitors? What's the drawbacks? And what people I think actually could benefit from having an extra monitor? I personally really like 2 monitors. I feel like it's the sweet spot, and on every video you've seen on this channel, I have always had 2 monitors. I've never felt the need to remove it, add one. For me personally, I feel like my layout is just perfect for what I do. As you can see behind me, I've got one in portrait and one in landscape, and for me, I feel like this is the perfect blend of both worlds, and for my personal use case, it's just really good. I'm constantly doing multiple things at once now, especially now that I've started creating content on the channel. If I'm editing, if I'm doing emails, I really like having the second monitor. Whether this is just for tasks like Spotify, having Discord open, it's just really helpful for me, even having a second video up. Just having the ability to match between monitors and reference between them is just really helpful for me. If I'm editing, I can have the timeline on one screen and then I can have the preview on the other, and this can improve my workflow so much. If I'm looking for sound effects, I can have a sound effect library on one side, the video on this side, and it's just really easy to mix and match between both monitors, just improving my workflow. Especially if you're streaming or recording, it's really helpful having your main screen and then having a completely separate screen for like your OBS, your recording software, just so it doesn't interfere with your main broadcast. This is one of the main benefits of having 2 monitors. But in these cases, having a second monitor isn't just an extra, it's actually functional. So I believe it's totally viable to go get a second monitor if you think you actually need to do two things at once. But then it's definitely also not needed for most people. The second monitor doesn't usually end up getting used like that for the majority of people who buy them. It just becomes emails, messages, maybe random tabs, and these can all just add to being a distraction instead of actually being functional. See, the key thing about monitors is it's meant to actually display information that's useful for you. If you go and get a second monitor and it's just got a bunch of random clutter, is that genuinely going to improve your PC experience, or is it just going to take away from what you already do? Instead of adding genuine tasks and things that you need to do, it just creates more noise on your desk. And for a lot of people, I think that would actually take away from their experience. And this is the important takeaway. Having one monitor doesn't mean that you're falling behind in some way. It doesn't mean your setup is worse at all. It just means that you're actually using what fits your space and what works for you. Just because other people have 2 monitors, 3 monitors, it doesn't mean you need that. They probably have that for a reason that you don't have, or they're just falling into a trap of feeling like they need it. If one monitor works for you, then just keep one monitor. I use 2 monitors because my work benefits from it. But I also know that if my desk was smaller, I'd happily just go back to 1 because the setup has to make sense as a whole. Before upgrading, I want you to ask 2 questions to decide whether you think you actually need more monitors. Do you genuinely feel like you need to see 2 things at once? And do you have the space to fit it properly? Are you going to get an extra monitor, or how many monitors are you currently working with, and why does that work for you?